Hello, everyone. My name is Christina. I am one of the nurses with Cardiac Rehab at the Lifestyle Medicine Center, and I'm going to be talking to you about building healthy relationships. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and start our presentation. I just wanted to get on here and show you my face real quick. Alrighty, so forming and maintaining relationships is one of the 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine. So this is why we want to talk to you all about this tonight. Studies have shown that good relationships, whether that is with friends, family, coworkers, or your significant other, promotes longevity and protects against illnesses. So first things first, you must love yourself. If you cannot love yourself, how can you love someone else? Always use positive self-talk and know your self-worth. Once you love yourself, relationships are more productive and easier to love those you are with. Today, we will learn how to foster a loving relationship. We're going to use kind, clear communication and learn to become a good listener. Using positive reinforcement, learn to control your anger during disagreements. Here we'll discuss different defense styles and how understanding these can help to maintain your relationships rather than break them. Learn how and when to compromise and learn how to forgive. So how do we communicate in a relationship? We want to speak clearly. It is important that what you are communicating is clear. Sometimes anger or frustration can cause us to ramble and our point is not clear. Research has shown that those who are able to be clear about their underlying need for connection are more likely to experience positive outcomes. The same is true for those who respond in ways that clearly support connection. We want to speak softly. Individuals who have the ability to communicate softly without being contemptuous or insulting are more likely to get a positive rather than negative response. This goes along with the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You should speak to others like you want them to speak to you. It has also been shown that those who use gentle humor and playfulness in their interactions with others are more likely to have quality relationships that last. They have stronger connections and provide a solid foundation for difficult times. It should be safe. The way in which partners interact contributes to the emotional environment of the relationship. Healthy relationships require creating an environment of mutual care and validation. And we want to keep it positive. The emotional tone of everyday interaction seems to build a foundation for how positive couples will be during conflict. Relationships should be built on building one another up. You should want your partner to feel good about themselves and to have fun with them. When having disagreements, you should be patient and respectful of your partner's feelings. A positive response is not always agreeing with your partner, but there should be respect and understanding. How to be a better listener. Listening and communicating can help reduce stressful situations, help facilitate mindful discussions, and work through health issues. Stop what you are doing and give your whole attention to the speaker. I am sure all of us can think of a time when we did not have someone's whole attention and how that made us feel. Make sure you are not trying to multitask. Avoid interrupting. Allow the speaker to complete their full point before you respond. Also, try not thinking ahead of what you are going to say in response. Listen fully to what they have to say and then think of your response. You cannot concentrate on what someone's saying if you are thinking of what you are going to say next. Show interest. This makes the speaker feel valued. Mirror the speaker's emotion. That this demonstrates that you understand their feelings. You can do this with your facial expressions or even just say the emotion out loud that the speaker is presenting. So if you know the speaker is excited about what they are talking about, just say, I see your excitement. Use nonverbal communication. This shows the speaker that you understand and hear what they are saying. And this goes back to mirroring the speaker's emotion and showing the interest. How to be better heard. Stay calm. A message is more likely to be positively received when you are in a calm state and can clearly communicate your thoughts and needs. Sometimes this means walking away and thinking about the issue before you just react. This will also keep you from saying something you did not actually mean. Also, maybe there is more to the situation that when you take the time to think about it, you can reflect on and bring more to the table once you do discuss the issue. A lot of times in relationships, we hear that a fight started over something small, like not taking out the trash, but then turns into something so much more because it really was not about the trash. But that was just the tipping point. Also remember, once something is said, you cannot take it back. So that whole think before you speak is definitely important in arguments. Replace you with I statements. When you use the word you, it can be interpreted as aggressive or accusatory. When using the word I, it validates the speaker. Also avoid words such as always and never. An example of this in a disagreement is saying you are ignoring me, instead saying I feel ignored. You can see how using you would put up someone's defense system because they feel attacked, whereas saying I, the person is, if it is a healthy relationship, will want to fix that because they do not want to feel that, want you to feel that way. Be clear and direct on what it is you are trying to convey. This way, your partner understands what they can do to change or make things better. If you are not clear and direct, your partner may not know what to do to make things better and get frustrated with themselves because they do not know how to help you. Avoid any finger pointing, eye rolling, and crossed arms or shoulders raised. This one is pretty obvious. This comes across very aggressive and is not respectful to your partner. Let's next talk about understanding our defense styles. We use defense styles in our relationship to avoid conflict, but if we do not understand these, we can hurt our relationship in the long run. Avoidance is a passive style. Avoiding things doesn't necessarily make them go away. Ignoring feelings or hurt, for instance, doesn't help solve the issue and often allows it to manifest. An example of avoidance would be, I will think about this tomorrow. Denial is a passive aggressive style. Not acknowledging a problem, for instance, or not admitting it may bother you. Can discount your feelings as well as your partner's. Often we think if we deny an issue or thought exists, you will feel better, but often it needs to be confronted. An example of this is, it's fine, don't worry about it. Acting out, aggressive style. Yelling or screaming to scare partners into submission or threaten those into a situation, for example, are aggressive ways to make things happen, or we think they will make things happen. An example is, if you do that, I'm not ever going to. How and when to compromise. Compromise is defined as a settlement of differences by mutual concessions, an agreement reached by adjustment of conflicting or opposing claims, principles, or etc., by reciprocal modification of demands. When should we compromise? Questions that you might ask yourself: will this compromise make me feel less than my authentic self? Does this compromise only benefit my partner, adding to his/her authority in the relationship? You should not go against your values, core beliefs, boundaries, or discount or invalidate our own feelings. How to compromise. Compromises should not be one-sided. It should come from both sides. Both partners should be able to adjust their behaviors to come to a mutual solution. It should not be one partner giving up things or adjusting their values and the other partner carrying on as usual. Compromise should be made with a specific goal in mind for the relationship. Again, this should not be one-sided. If you or your partner feels that they are continuously giving things up for the relationship will not last and resentment will form. Compromises should always be made for a greater good for the relationship. It should be positive, and once the goal is accomplished, this should actually help to build the relationship stronger because you accomplished that goal together. At the end of the day, compromise should be about finding a balance and bridging a gap so both partners feel heard, understood, and can agree to an effective solution. This will lead to healthy relationships and positive growth for both. And practicing forgiveness. When you do not forgive, you are the one hurting and suffering. Why allow that person to have a hold on you and your life? You cannot always expect an apology before you forgive someone. Ultimately, you are forgiving that person for yourself, not for them. You are not allowing them to control your life. Just because you forgive someone does not mean you have to be friends with them or continue a relationship with that person. Remember, a healthy relationship is one that builds each other up and makes each other a better person. It is positive. It is not negative or to tear one another down. We do not store anger. We store memories. Each time that you think of that negative memory of the hurt, you relive those same emotions just as the situation happened. To allow that stress and negativity each time you think of a specific time is not good for your health. Let's think of how chronic stress affects our health. It can cause weight gain. It can cause heart issues. It can cause gut issues, sleeping issues. So none of these are good things. So you see, you must forgive for your own health and wellness. And don't forget to forgive and live. And lastly, you have to recognize that there cannot be relationships unless there is commitment, unless there is loyalty, unless there is love, patience, and persistence. And if you've ever watched the show Friends, I think this is a great example of a relationship works well. So especially, between Ross and Rachel, right? They're very persistent, patient, but I think between the whole group, they really display this. So, anyways, I hope that you guys have a great evening, and thank you for joining us. If you have any questions about lifestyle medicine, you feel free to call us at 432-221-LIFE. Thanks.